Puppet Backup is visuals and giant puppets which are activated over things that we care about. So we tend to get them out at appropriate places on the streets sometimes to raise awareness or to interact and have a voice somehow. The puppets we sort of think of in different ways. We think of them like activists in a way, like they are the actors, they are the main characters and we are the backup. We sort of back them up because we don't really want the attention to be brought to us. We want the puppets kind of will capture people's attention more than us. At the corner of his eye, seeing a lot of money going out, and then it's coming back into his own ear.
I suppose Puppet Backup started after we went to Vermont in 2013. We'd known about the Bread and Puppet Theatre for quite a long time. It's iconic, radical theatre in the middle of the countryside in Vermont. We went there for a period of time and was blown away by it and wanted to make large puppets.
Yeah, there's sort of themes of the natural world, whether it's paintings to do with soil and the fungi kingdom and some of the awesomeness about those that I've just kind of felt inspired to want to paint about and announce in a sort of performance. It's using paper mache, glue, old bits of dribs and drabs of leftover paint, making signs, creating a show together. It's quite simple. What I do is I make... This is just paper and flour. Flour makes glue.
Oh.
And first of all, I make a clay base, make a clay sculpture, and then create this paper shell.
Oh yeah.
And then paint it.
Absolutely interesting.
So it's just
it's recycling.
It's all recycling. It's all free to make.
There are some like the little items I could.
I think the things that I get excited about are so exciting that other people will definitely want to know about them. So it's things like play. Play can achieve far more than seriousness. So we're using a game on the street to engage with people around us and letting them be artists as well.
Yeah, I mean, all they know at this stage is play. Like just playing with.
I want to go and play with them now.
Go for it.
Yeah.
We're always at home, taking our water from the tap, and sometimes don't necessarily know where it comes from because it's always just coming out, isn't it? It's always there for us when we want it. And then what goes on in the river is really important because the river near us is this really special ecosystem.
I'm a duck.
You have to get people to talk to a puppet, not to you. I say a child will learn really quickly that the puppet is an entity and not part of you, and they're the ones with the power. Their power is a ridiculous power. It's paper mache and glue and paint. But they can get away with things that people can't get away with. So the carrot is, instead of throwing a bomb, you throw a carrot. So it's a symbol of community and sharing and do no harm, We're always wanting to confront power with play because the play deroles a polarised power that's often with the other, with the state or with the police, and that's what puppets allow us to do. Whereas if you're protesting, if you're sort of like shouting, sloganising, makes it an us and them situation, and really you want to sort of diffuse that and recognise there's more places in between. Anyway, do you want to talk in here? You can be anonymous in this. Say whatever you want to say now, because you're anonymous now. What do you think the big issues are about the climate?
I think it's about recycle and upcycle.
Recycle, upcycle, they're excellent things.
Thank you very much.
How what they do impacts people in other countries because of their behaviour as Australia. I've come from a visual arts background and I like the fact that art can be active and accessible and be a resource and functioning outside of typically gallery sort of spaces where less people might see it. Recently we've been focusing on climate action, what that might mean.
You get bombarded with a lot of kind of facts and figures, and for lots of people that leaves them a bit cold, like knowing it's going to be this many degrees of warming or this many metres of sea rise, but art can be something that you can connect with on a kind of more emotional level, can kind of give more sort of tangible form to the problems, and it can help you to kind of fire up your imagination to imagine a better world without fossil fuels, without the environmental problems that we're creating for ourselves.
I think that's the great thing about art is like creating stuff. It then exists in the world. It's like it may or may not have a sort of influence on others' ways of seeing or experience, but it kind of exists for that possibility to occur.
No, it's not. It's a way.
Hi everyone, there's an oil refinery down there. That's not good for me.
There's an oil refinery down there. If only we had a sausage dog and a swordfish.
Yeah.
Swordfish, can you cut the oil refinery away? Saw it.
Cut it!
Yay!
Celebration time! Where's the frog gone?
But it feels like the hope for the future of our planet requires like revolutionary hope at the moment. It requires like a world totally reconfigured and system change, and it feels a very large hope to have, really, but I think it's sort of necessary, and I suppose we're aware of the way that change can occur and has occurred in the past through small steps, through transitions.
We are just some players, there's other players, and sometimes it takes a panorama of different approaches to bring about change. We don't think that we're going to be the one who topples capitalism. Do you know what I mean? We'd love great to think so, but we want to play our part.
Migratory bird. Here the migratory bird arrives, appears on this pier with these sights in its eyes to help us see. This migratory bird has seen distances and places. On its flyway, fulfilling its life routes, its purpose and sense, knowing its way. This bird flies between the global south and the north. Its flyway has been disrupted. Turbulence of storms, heats of fires rising, shifting currents and air systems. From its bird's eye view, it can see people in the global south, communities and countries struggling and suffering consequences of climate breakdown. In the north, it sees oil being drilled, processed, piped and burnt as heat and fumes fill the air. What do we see? Which perspectives? Whose views? Limited vision or with wider, broader vision, noticing a bigger picture and our place in the scheme of things?
People think they want to sit on the fence about things, but they're not really. You're either involved or you're passive.
We've got time still to leave a better future, but not if we just keep going with business as usual.
It's easy to be a bystander, but we shouldn't really be bystanders in life. We ought to be participators.
We can change. I suppose change has to start with ourselves.